Hashtag American Bass XMAXXX 15-inch subwoofer script. So you've got a decent car audio system, right? But something's missing. You crank up your favorite song and it just feels flat. There's no thump, no punch, no real bass that you can actually feel in your chest. You're listening to music that was mixed with bass in mind, but your current setup just isn't delivering. Well, if you've been dealing with that frustration, the American Bass XMAXXX 15-inch subwoofer might be exactly what changes everything for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the latest price on Amazon. Let me break down what makes this thing worth paying attention to. This sub maxes out at 8,500 watts, and I know wattage numbers can feel abstract, but what that really means is you're getting genuine, room-shaking bass that doesn't tap out even when you push it hard. The 15-inch woofer is massive, and the dual 1-ohm configuration gives you flexibility with how you wire it into your system depending on what your amp can handle. The XMAXXX technology is honestly the coolest part here. Without getting too technical, this basically means the cone can move in and out way more than typical subwoofers, which creates deeper, more controlled bass response. When you're listening to hip-hop, EDM, or pretty much anything with heavy bass, you can feel the difference. It's not just louder, it's actually deeper and more detailed. One huge practical benefit is that this thing actually fits in cars. A 15-inch sub is legitimately big, but the American Bass design is clever about how they packaged it. If you've got a truck with a decent trunk or a sedan where you can build an enclosure, this will actually work for you. You're not stuck choosing between power and practicality here. Another thing that matters a lot is reliability. The build quality on this feels solid. The surround and spider are built to handle that serious excursion without coming apart on you. I've seen people using these in competition builds and daily drivers, and they tend to last. That's not guaranteed forever obviously, but it speaks to the construction quality. The sensitivity is decent too, meaning your amp doesn't have to work as hard to make this sub really perform. So if you're running a moderate amp, you'll still get impressive output instead of needing to drop crazy money on a massive amplifier. Let me be real about the pros and cons. On the plus side, you're getting legitimate deep bass output that most people running modest systems will never achieve, and the build quality suggests it'll stick around for years. The 15-inch size gives you real woofer area without being completely impractical. The con is that you absolutely need a proper amplifier to do this sub justice. You can't just plug it in and expect magic. You also need an enclosure, and building or buying the right one takes some thought because a poorly designed box will completely waste the sub's potential. If you've been stuck with weak bass and you're ready to actually feel your music the way it was meant to be heard, this is a solid direction to explore. Grab the link below to check current pricing and availability on Amazon, and let me know in the comments what kind of bass setup you're running.